Oh, good?
All good.
All right, cool. So Mary, tell me all about what is So Good Now. Tell me what this whole thing is about. About the whole charity in general, not the event.
Yes, So Good Now is a nonprofit, a 501c3 that was founded in 2018. It's a youth sports philanthropy organization. So what does that mean? Youth sports, that's pretty obvious, and then philanthropy. So we talk a lot about the 4 T's: time, talent, treasures, and ties. And they're all equally important, right? Time is the most precious because you can't multiply it. So how is So Good Now different? We break down the barrier of time to these student athletes in high school and college, because that's the number one thing that we have to overcome. How can we fit it in between their practices, their games, their travel, their studies, their family obligations? How do we fit that in? And we bring underserved youth to them so that we break down that barrier of time. Now, talent, we work with a lot of different teams, all different sports. Ice hockey is the one we're doing today. And a lot of these players have talents because of coaches that have believed in them. And that some of them start as early as 2 years old in the sport that they're in. And we ask players to share some of that talent with kids in underserved areas. We partner them with geographically adjacent groups so that they're close by, that transportation isn't an issue. So then we have time, we have talent, and then we have treasures. So the word philanthropy is a big word, right? What does it mean? It means the love of humankind, right? It's a universal word, philanthropy, right? What are the treasures? Often people think of treasures as money, but treasures are ice time, treasures are equipment, treasures are helmets, treasures are all of the gifts that come along with a premier facility. It's good coaching. And then
Yeah, I think it's actually out.
No, hold on. Let's go back. What are your treasures?
so we talk about time, talent, treasures. What are treasures? In philanthropy, a lot of people consider that to be money. But we are a youth philanthropy organization, and we help young people understand that their gifts and their facilities and the access to places are true treasures, right? Treasures that they can share with others who might not have access. So young people can be philanthropists by sharing their treasures with others. And then here's where the end game is. Here's where the goal is. Ties, right? You ask these players how many friends they've met, how many connections they've made. And you know, in the business world, everybody's always networking, and it's an important skill to have. This gives both communities a chance to understand each other better and to build those strong ties for a better tomorrow and a better definition of philanthropy in the future.
Beautiful. So how did this whole thing start? How did you wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to start So Good Now?
Yeah, pretty much my whole life I felt called to do more. But when I was young, I had 2 choices: be a missionary, or be a nun. That's the only 2 options that I could understand as far as, giving back. So that calling never left me. And when I raised my kids, I was just really disappointed in the disparity that I saw. I have 5 kids, and they got to do a lot. And I took them to a lot of games, but a lot of kids don't have that same access. And I thought I would take a chance, and I studied philanthropy in general. I became a chartered advisor in philanthropy. I worked on a philanthropic team in Philadelphia. I talked to 1 million people and asked them, do you think you should do more? Do you think we could do more? And they all said yes. And I have kids who are talented athletes, and I saw how the world responded to them. And I said, they don't want to hear me. They want to hear these athletes. If the athletes ask them to do something, they'll do it. So we can really bring about change in a big way by working with athletes. So I got 2 other moms, and I said, hey, you have athletes, you're a former D1 athlete. What do you say we build an organization to teach philanthropy to student athletes? and, you know, talk about the 4 T's. And they said, okay, we gave it a shot 2018 on a football field. And we've been going strong for 5 years. We made it through the pandemic, pretty much because teams know how to overcome obstacles. And pretty much teams know how to find solutions to things, so that's why we were able to survive.
Can you talk a little bit about the different events that you have held, So Good Now, different sports, different types of get-togethers?
Yeah, so we piloted a lot of different sports. We weren't sure would it work for golf, would it work for swimming. It works for them all. We're starting a karate one in February, and the magic is that the unity of the team, the circle of the team, kids who gather, who are disciplined, who aren't afraid to fail publicly, they make great community leaders. If you think about ice hockey, you know, what are the skills that you need in order to, you know, pass the puck? There's just a lot that goes into scoring one goal. And those traits really transfer well to philanthropy.
Can you tell us a little bit about the hockey event here and what it's all about and how it started and what number this is and all that?
Yeah, so today we are here at the Jacobs & Jacobs second annual Ice Hockey Give Back. We are blessed to have Jim Jacobs and his sons, Jimmy and Jeremy, leading the charge on the one side with the Little Flyers. Just a team that demonstrates so much character, so much love, so much compassion, and just serves others in a way that I haven't seen. So you know that there's good leadership in the Little Flyers. And then the other is Faith Tabernacle Church, and they are a church that spans from Wilmington, Chester, primarily in Chester, and Philadelphia. And the pastor's name is Nate Jacobs. So we call this the Jacobs & Jacobs Ice Hockey Give Back.
Anything else?
That's amazing. It's exactly what we needed. It's exactly what we needed.
Yeah, so I just want to say how grateful I am. I learn when I come to these. So I want to just tell you about what the kids have learned today.
Yeah.
They've learned how to hold skates, right, the safe way. They've learned how to put on a helmet, how to put on shin guards, elbow guards. They've learned how to score a goal. They've learned to trust student athletes that they haven't met before, and they've learned how to be more confident in a sport that's pretty difficult to learn. So all of that is a result of these hockey players sharing the 4 T's: time, talent, treasures, and ties. Now the ties part is what's pretty exciting. We're going to get a chance to have dinner together, and that's where we really solidify the relationship. I think both parties are going to grow stronger because of it. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for helping us.